Anybody here? Oh, no. Oh, I was going to say, where is everybody? It's just you and me, girl.
And fast.
Wow.
Is it just the two of us? No, there'll be others.
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I need to add this calendar into Slack so people can be, I think it's in the group, but I'll just download it and upload it again. So where am I? Zoom, chat, file, computer.
Yeah, I downloaded all of them. I think Paige posted them in one of the groups.
We do update them a little bit here and there.
Oh, do you? Okay. I just thought I'm going to save them all right now so that I'm not scrambling. Right?
Yeah. It's in the chat.
Well, I like to print mine off.
Yeah, I print mine out too.
Do you? Okay, I'm kind of old school like that. I like to
and I keep it in my diary.
Yes, so do I. I have my big planner, and I always have it in my planner. You can see all my months. You know what? I think it'll be really a valuable tool.
I'm the same.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only nerd in the group.
I'm still.
No, Nancy's got hers. She's a nerd too. Good job, Nancy.
I still have. I mean, I have an electronic calendar, but every week I write it down in my book as well.
Yeah.
My book is literally, my whole week is. Where is it? It's all written out on every day and how I do it, sort of thing. So, yeah. I'm the same. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I just put the calendar in the chat box as well. See, this is. I actually buy this one. It's called a planner pad.
Planner pad. Okay.
And it's not cheap. It's about $35, but it's just beautifully done, and it just I don't know, makes sense to me.
It's all about what works for you, right?
Yeah. I know Brendan Bouchard has designed his own recently, and I think Michael, what's his name, Hyatt has done one too. But yeah, that's works for me.
Did you say the calendar was in chat? Because I don't see it.
Yeah, in the chat box itself, I just uploaded a folder.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, you guys.
Do it again, Jonathan, because I might not have been on when you did it, and then you don't see the.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you don't see the previous chat, which is really.
Oh, I did not know
good.
that. I didn't.
Yeah. So I was raised by a father who had that had a statement that said a short pencil goes further than a long mind. That was his statement. So,
that's
okay,
cool.
There it is. Let me download that. And let me close that one. I just had a amazing conversation with a gentleman who was a former NFL kicker.
Cool.
And an app that he wants to do, and a whole concept that he has. He runs a company called the National Combine, and he actually works with the Canadian Football League a lot as well. So
yeah,
it was really neat. I just love what I do. It's like you get to talk to people from all over the place.
Love that. That's fun, isn't it? Hey.
Yeah.
That's fun. Let's wait for Lindsay to come back. So I mean, you don't have to, I mean, content is not just days of the week. I mean, but it adds a flavor to it. It's like, if you only ever at, tuna sandwiches, I mean, they would be boring. You always want flavor into the sandwich. So what I've tried to do with the content calendar is pick ones that I think, would be fun, but there are so many others. I use this web page here. It's called where is it? Daysoftheyear.com, and it's not all of them, but it has quite a few, and it gives you multiple choices on any given day. It gives you all the themes for the month, which is pretty cool, and then you can pick any given day on the calendar. And so let's just say June 1st. If I go to May, June 1st, and then it gives me all the national days. So like June 1st on the calendar is like World Reef Day, which is cool, if you want to be more sort of environmental, but it's also Thank God it's Monday Day, or Say Something Nice Day, Go Barefoot Day, World Milk Day. I mean, there is a ton. So I always look at this and I think, okay, what's the theme for the month? It's Pride Month, it's Grandparents Month, it's PTSD Month, it's Audiobook Month. I mean, they're all interesting that I could draw on. And then I went, it's World Reef Day. And it's like, have I ever seen a reef out? Well, I kind of have, but I've never been to Australia where the Great Barrier Reef is. And then Great Barrier Reef is apparently dying because of pollution. It's like, and then my thought went, it's June. Everybody's pissed off with COVID and trying to get back out. So I went, I need to just make every single post I do about being positive. You know, and, you know, reefs are beautiful, but if they're dying because of pollution, do I want to go there? It's like, actually, I don't. So that's where I went. So I looked, and when I saw that, it's like, Say Something Nice Day. And it was interesting that I get a lot of comments on my voicemail on my cell phone. And they always say, like, that is a great voicemail. And it's like, thank you. And then I realized the reason that it is a great voicemail is whenever I record my voicemail on my phone, I update it fairly often. I always do it in front of a mirror. And I look at myself as I'm holding the phone next to my mouth, as if I'm talking to somebody, and I'm smiling at the mirror. So when people hear my voice message, it's almost like I'm standing on the stage talking to someone, because that's what I want to come over in my voicemail. So my post for next Monday is how I make voice messages for my phone, and it's Say Something Nice Day. So I'm trying to use the topic and tie it into a business application, but being extremely positive about everything. So, you know, maybe there's certain things that you do. It's like, Lindsay, you're Manic Monday, and it's like, today's, you know, June 1st, and it's Say Something Nice Day. Are you ever in that place where, like, all you want to do is just thump everybody and stab their eyeballs out because whatever? I get it. But, you know, what do you do when that inner voice is not conducive to a working atmosphere? And I know, I mean, there's a lot of people being told they have to go back to work now. And then they go back and they sit at a desk with this big Perspex panel in front of them, and they feel like they're in a bird cage, or, you know, or they have to wear a mask, or they have to, you know, I saw a meme the other day and said, I put so much hand sanitizer on my hand that every time I pee, it cleans the toilet. I mean, that was quite funny. But I think we just got to have fun with what's happening in the world, and make our content really conducive to who we are as a person. And again, that whole piece about getting known. I mean, a lot of people talk to me about my smile and my positivity. I mean, I spoke, even with Susan, had a chat to yesterday, and she said, you know, Jonathan, you have a positive spin on everything, and I just enjoy talking to you. Could you make me feel better? And it's like, wow, all right. I mean, that's something that I do and I don't even try, right? But people notice. So in this content calendar, I think that's the secret, is to do things that people, that are attributes about you in this humble brag, that could bring value. So then I jumped to June 2nd, which is Rocky Road Day. And when I was working with the Shintan people, he instantly went to the Rocky Road and overcoming adversity. And I went, it's actually a flavor of ice cream, you know, which is actually what the national holiday is. It's about Rocky Road Ice Cream Day. And I don't know if I've ever had Rocky Road ice cream. I've probably seen it. I'm not really an ice cream kind of guy very much. But you could think of it, it's like, you know, it's tough. And maybe all you want to do is go home and have a pail of ice cream to just, you know, how many sitcoms have we seen, like Monica and Chandler and whatever and Friends, and next thing they've gone through a whole pint of ice cream? You know, do you have the kind of day that all you want to do is just go through a pint of ice cream? Maybe it's Rocky Road, maybe the road is really rocky, and you could just spin it, right? But at the same time, I noticed on my calendar, it's also leave the office early day. And it's like, well, that's a joke because we all work from home. But then I was thinking about, like, when I go on holiday and I have a number of things that I need to do before I leave, that day before I leave, I am the most productive person on the planet. And then I think to myself, why can't I be that way anyway? Because I had a deadline and I want to get work out of the door before I jump on a plane or whatever I'm going to do. And then it's like, leave the office early. And it's like, I want everybody to finish by 3 o'clock today, and it's going to be sunny. And here's how we're going to do it. Just write a list, bust the gut, and get out of here by 3 o'clock and go enjoy the fresh air. Then you're motivating people. And it's like, I'm glad she said that. I'm going to do that. I can do that. I can do it just before I go on holiday. I can do it anyway. So again, you suddenly become that productivity coach. Maybe there's an app, Nancy, that you could recommend that, gives people a 50-minute timer on getting their stuff done during the day. Maybe. June 3rd, it's National Running Day. I don't run. I never have been a runner. I was asthmatic as a kid. Up until a few months ago, I couldn't run because my chest hurt because of my movies. But I'm, man boobs, I'm losing weight. I don't wobble like I used to, which I'm very proud of. I don't want to get into anything sexual here, but, that's what sports bras are about, right? But it's also World Bicycle Day. And the UN decreed it as Bicycle Day. And of course, bicycles in the third world are the main form of transport. And I said to Debbie, I said, you know what? We have 2 bikes in the garage. I took them off the wall in our old garage. We moved house. I put 2 brackets up. I hung them on the wall in our garage. And they've sat there for 4 years. So what's the point in owning a bike if all it does is just hang on a garage wall? So I called my dealer yesterday and said, do you have a bike rack that fits my car into the tow hitch? And he went, yeah. And they're on sale this month for $300. I went, maybe I'm going to go bike rack and Debbie and I can go learn to bike. No, not learn to bike, learn to ride again. I mean, you don't forget how to ride, but Debbie's like, well, I'm kind of scared of getting on a bike. What if I fall off? And then there's that whole business parody of like, we know we should do it. We know how to do it. We just don't because we're scared. Right? So could you imagine doing a video, Lindsay, of you on a bike and just say, I hadn't been on a bike in 18 years and I own one. And I used to love riding a bike and it was so fun when I was a kid. I spent all day on my bike. What happened?
Right.
Suddenly this adult brain kicked in and it told me, you're too old for that, or you could hurt yourself. And it's like,
well, you just get too busy.
Right?
I have an awesome red bike and I just got it tuned up. So it's perfect timing.
And you could just sort of say, we all know how to ride a bike. We all learned, but we don't do it because are we too busy? Are we scared? Is it uncomfortable? Do we have to push ourselves? Isn't that what business is about? You're thinking about starting a business. You're thinking about buying an app. You're thinking about, getting a second stream of income. You're thinking about putting in a new kitchen. But my air conditioning crapped out this week. It hasn't crapped out. It's just not working very well because we had a really, really hot couple of days last week. We got a company come out and he went, yeah, I can't fix it. Your air conditioner is 12 years old. I went, but it's been used 3 weeks a year. And he went, yeah, I know, but the gas that's in it is illegal. I can't top it up anymore and it needs more gas. That's all that's wrong with it. But he said, we don't stock it anymore because that, whatever the gas is no longer legal.
Yeah.
And it's like, crap. And it's like, and it's going to be a lot of like $5,000 to put a whole new air conditioning unit into our home.
I think you need a second opinion on that.
Really?
Yeah, it's Freon. And he's right. Like we had to have ours recharged, not last year, but the year before. I find that funny that they can't just recharge it with new stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but instantly it's like, where was I going with this? It's like, could I find the money, or could I get a payment plan, or could I negotiate a deal with them? Yeah. But instantly, because it's a chunk of money and there's an uncertainty in the business climate, it stopped me in my tracks. And it's like, it's not that much money, I could make that in one deal. If I just got on the phone and looked at my wall of Post-it notes and went, oh, I hadn't spoken to such and such in a while, called them up, did a deal. I could pay for that air conditioner any day if I just adjusted my mindset. There's all the money you need is out there. You just got to have the mindset to go with it, right? So that's kind of where I wanted this content calendar to go, is just how can you empower people using this background of ideas to get into a strategy that makes us different. It's like June 4th is Hug Your Cat Day, apparently, or it's National Cheese Day. Debbie and I have been eating a lot of tofu recently and paneer, which I absolutely love. It's not that we're vegetarian, we just really like it. And if it's marinated, it does make, I don't know whether it's meat or not meat, but there's lots that we could take out of this and say National Cheese Day. Okay, well, most vegetarians don't eat meat, but they eat cheese. If they're vegan, they don't eat cheese because it's got ratin in it, whatever it is. But you could talk about, just like, have you ever thought about going on a plant-based diet? Probably not. I mean, who does want to give up bacon and steak? But maybe do it 2 or 3 times a week. Maybe you just have cheese as a protein and get into healthy eating or something like that. And suddenly it's like, it's a Thursday. It's like, this is the meal I'm making for my family tonight, and they ain't getting any meat. They're getting cheese, and they're going to love it because this is what I did. And, position yourself as a working mom who also has to make a meal for a family. You've got the title, you put it in there, and you're showing how you find balance and how you can provide for a family and run a business from home.
Decades ago, my family was the last one to own a Limburger cheese factory.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's up here in Wisconsin. I don't know if they are still the owners or not, but in the United States, Limburger cheese is not exactly one people gravitate to because they don't know how to eat it.
Right.
You have to cut off the whole rind, then you don't smell it. That's the difference.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm going to turn myself into a standing desk. Just bear with me a sec.
So that would be something definitely I could make a post comment about whatever.
Well, there's history there, right?
Yeah.
Like
That's my family's from my mother's side, bunch of farmers. And that's my mother's side of the family is what a lot of people don't know about. I'm known for my Italian side of the family.
Got it. Go for it.
Hey, there you go. Now you learned something about me.
June 5th, National Donut Day. Well,
Okay, total opposite of the
Okay.
healthy from the day before.
Yeah.
but how many meetings? I mean, it used to be, certainly in Canada, Tim Hortons. I mean, any business meeting you would go to, somebody would always arrive with a box of Timbits or donuts.
You bet.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, do I really want to start a meeting off with everybody getting on a sugar high and then crashing? There you go, Timmy's cup.
You bet.
So what I started to do with my meetings when I used to, whether it was a tailgate meeting, whatever, at one point I worked with a restoration company. I would pre-order McDonald's breakfast sandwiches. That was a lot more money. But if you show up with 20 Egg McMuffins rather than 2 boxes of donuts, I mean, you're a superstar. Or I've been to a lot of meetings that I just get that carry out from Tim Hortons or Starbucks now, or McDonald's do it. And you go up with a big carafe of coffee and the cups and the creamer and stuff. I mean, suddenly when you have a physical meeting, you're a star. Or you could send virtual e-cards to people, sort of say, have coffee at maybe Starbucks. You can send Starbucks cards by email now. So maybe say, go back to the donut day and just say, do you remember when we used to do this? Well, now we can't, but here's alternatives to stay in touch. Lindsay, you have a thought?
No, that I think that's actually maybe it's like, remember those times we used to sit around the table and enjoy our coffee and donuts together?
Yep.
What does that look like in your office going forward?
Yeah.
How are you going to create culture and connection when you can't share stuff like that?
Yes.
Right?
I have one client that has lunch meetings with their staff virtually now, and he has like Jimmy John's or something delivered to each of their homes.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and then they all sit
They're
virtually.
a client of yours, right?
Yeah.
So get him to take a Zoom screenshot of everybody eating their lunch.
Yeah.
That's such a great idea, but also feature the fact that they're one of your clients.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's another one coming up June 6th, which is D-Day, which is Dunkirk Day, but it's National Trails Day. And there's some great apps around logging trails, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're actually going to do that day is just share the Trails app. And so people can sort of Debbie's finding new trails for us all the time. And almost every other night now, we're on a different path on another dike, on a canal sort of bank or something. And I can't believe how many cool places there are to walk nearby that nobody knows about, and they're empty. It's fantastic.
Well, and it's a thing you can do right now without worrying about anything.
Yep,
You can go for a nice walk on a trail.
And now we used to do an average of 2 kilometers. Now our average is 7 kilometers, and we're trying to get it to 10 every night. And boy, I tell you, I mean, normally we don't eat a big dinner and then walk, but last night we had a big dinner, and then because I'd spent 2 hours on Winners last night. I mean, I was ready to strangle somebody. So I said to Debbie, I'm going to get sushi. And then I over-ordered because I was hungry because, you shouldn't order.
Yes.
And then I ate it all.
We do the same thing every time, Jonathan.
Really?
Mhm.
We get really excited about all the sushis.
Yep.
And we over order, and it's ridiculous. So I can empathize with that.
And then we went for a walk, and I went, oh, Debbie said, you got a food baby, haven't you? I went, yep. And yet by the end of it, I felt great, you know, because we walked 7K. So yeah. Okay. Sunday the 7th is Cancer Survivor Day. Right? Everybody we know has a cancer story. So we're featuring not a lady who's actually a client of mine, but a lady that I met at a workshop that really impacted me. She lives in Boston, and she's a lawyer, but she also has, she's a big keto proponent. Even though she ate so healthy, she's still got breast cancer. And I followed her journey for a whole year. And every month she shows up with however she looks, you know, bald, or her hair's growing back now, and does a Facebook Live about, you know, checking for lumps every single month. And she's passionate about it. Her name is Julie Tolik. So we're just going to feature her. Not necessarily a client, but just somebody I respect.
Yeah.
So it's a great way of doing that. June 8th, Best Friends Day. And I struggle with this because I don't have a best friend. I never have had. I mean, I have my wife, which, you know, is pretty much a given, but I don't truly have a lot of very close friends. I know some people that have amazing friends from school or college that they still hang out with. I've never been that person. So I struggle with that a bit, but just being honest, but I know so many people, and I would call everybody that I work with a friend, and they would go out of their way for me because I always go out of my way for them. But yeah, somehow it's that BFF thing has never been part of who I am. But not to say it couldn't change. And I would love to know how people make friends when they move house to a different state or a different country, and suddenly they have all these new friends. I mean, there's an art to that, and I think there's a real value in somebody teaching people how to make new friends. So maybe that's a question, like all these people that move for jobs, how do you make new friends? You know, you change jobs, suddenly, you know, all your work colleagues were the people you hung out with. Now for the last 3 months, you've been at home by yourself. I mean, who is, you know, how do you do that? Just a thought. Donald Duck Day, June 9. Oh my goodness, you know. But then I just went to Disney, and I just thought about all those Disney vacations that we've enjoyed as a family, and the whole Walt Disney visionary mindset thing, and totally a way of finding like pictures of Disney and talking about family or talking about conferences you might have been to at a Disney resort or something. National Iced Tea Day. Well, Canadian iced tea and American iced tea, you know, we're on different planets. I mean, sweetened iced tea to me is just like,
Oh,
right? But a lot of people love it. So it's kind of like that Pepsi versus Coke thing. And you could talk about, you know, how do you take your iced tea? Is it real tea with lemon, or is it sweetened, sugary, you know, out of a can? I mean, iced tea is supposed to be healthy, and I don't think most people's iced tea is particularly healthy. But it could be fun because that time of year is coming up. Making Life Beautiful Day, June 11, which is lovely. But I also realized it was National Jerky Day, and it's also Farmers Week. And then I realized we have a farm client who is a turkey farm that makes the most incredible turkey jerky. So we're going to do a feature on JD Farms and how we took their website as soon as COVID started from an on-land business, which had an online website, to a purely online business where they had curbside pickup and a shopping cart. And we built it for them in like 8 days. So it's a great way of us showcasing, yeah, they don't have an app, Nancy, but showcasing how we help them pivot very, very quickly without being braggy around, oh, look at us, we just built this website, but featuring the client, making the client the hero. But then in the background, you know, we help them get there. So that might be it. 12th of June is National Loving Day, but it's also Superman Day. So we thought about taking the love and the Superman piece and spotlighting healthcare heroes, that they're all super in our minds. So we're going to make Friday the 12th sort of Healthcare Hero Day, with a kind of a Superman-y cape idea behind and just because we have this thing at 7 o'clock every night that people are going out and sort of banging pots and pans and recognizing healthcare heroes every day at that certain time. It's kind of died. I mean, it's just been done for too long now, and it's sort of, I don't even know if it really happens very much. But yeah, the frontline heroes, they are our modern day superheroes. So that's what I might do with that. June 13th is National Gin Day. Gotta love that. It's also Random Acts of Light Day, which I'm not quite sure what that even is, but I'd have to research that. But that's kind of where my brain goes with these kind of ideas and content just for the first 2 weeks. And obviously everybody who's in watching this video, just look at the download and run through it. But I guess Father's Day is coming up this month. My birthday's coming up this month, just saying. I will be 55. And, you know, when I was a kid, 55 sounded so old. And then there was all this, but the thing like when I was in the 20s, like freedom 55, that's when you could retire and have all this freedom. It's like, not a hope in hell. Of many people retiring at 55 right now, but it's interesting, right?
Double nickels, double nickels.
It's like somebody said that 2050 is as far away as 1990. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
So time just changes so fast. And yeah, it's interesting to reflect on time and how time, it's like, how many of us started January? It's like, this is going to be my best year ever. 2020 is going to roar in. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
We're only in May. And it's like, this year was the shits. I mean, it really was for so many people.
Yeah.
But it's not. I mean, it's all in your mind. It's all in your head. Whether I actually,
it all depends upon how you want to pivot it.
I hated some of the pieces about this year. Like I missed a major vacation Debbie were gonna have, and then Debbie just said the other day, well, hey, just think about it. All of our vacations for 2021 have already been paid for because we have a credit for a cruise line, we have a credit for an airline. You know.
Yeah.
The next year's holidays already paid for. So then I went, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Rather than like, dang it, I didn't get to go to Australia on a cruise ship. But anyway, it's what it is. So positive spin. So is there any dates that you struggle with there that you want to look at that we could come up with some ideas for you?
So I seem to be struggling with my Manic Mondays a little bit because normally Mondays are a bit manic and that's shifted. So it's left me a little bit stuck. So I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Well, funny, I have a sleep app and it was telling me for the longest time that Sunday night is my worst night of sleep.
Yeah.
Do something different. And I kept thinking, why would Sunday night be my worst night of sleep when it's probably the day I get the most rest and I'm most chilled? And Debbie, when I'm asleep, Debbie says, I always know when you have a meeting the next day.
Yeah.
This all the way through the night because your brain is wired. Even though you're asleep, I know you're thinking.
Yeah.
And it does that to me on a Sunday night for a Monday.
Yeah.
And not so much just recently, because like every day is the same. Typically, that is totally true. So what I've tried to do now is what I'm doing differently myself is that I finish work at 1 p.m. on a Friday and I literally close shop and leave.
Yeah.
Debbie and I are having this great adventure on a Friday. And then what her and I do on a Sunday morning is we sit together and we plan the week. And I go into Slack and I plan all my tasks for the week with the team. So on Monday morning when they wake up, all the things I need them to do for the week is already there. Typically, I was doing that on a Monday morning or a Friday afternoon, trying to get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Now I've decided that Friday afternoon, I'm toast. I've got nothing left in the tank anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to try and I was so unproductive on Friday afternoons because I was so tired anyway.
Yeah.
Now it's an adventure, and it's actually blocked off in my calendar, JCJD personal time from 1 o'clock to 7. It's like gone. And we've had fantastic Friday afternoons. And I either use Friday morning or I use Sunday morning as just my catch up for the week rather than a Monday morning. So, I mean, for a short time, my shaving chronicles became the sharing chronicles.
Yeah.
So maybe you put a line through manic and you make it, magic or whatever that might be.
Okay.
And just have it and just say, for the next month, Manic Mondays are on hiatus because, Monday schmonday. I mean, really, what's the difference, when you're working from home? But here's some things that I do or people that I work with are doing differently to make Monday a really productive day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So Lindsay, what are you trying to resonate with the Manic Monday? Are you trying to get people to be unmanicked or?
Yeah, so my original intention was to help people manage sort of the stress and the chaos. Because I found it really funny that lots of people have motivational Mondays, and my Mondays were always a shit show, right? So with kids and activities and things, and right, like to Jonathan's point, you got to kind of hit the ground running. And so that's really what it was all about. Well, now every day is sort of Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
So they're not manic in that sense. We've slowed down. And so that's where, and maybe that is it, right? Now, some of it, I am trying to shift, Nancy, to your point, they were more of a personal. And so I am trying to shift to be, speak a little bit more to my small business owner and leader and client in that way. So I'm slowly trying to shift that. So I'm trying to think along that vein as well. But yeah.
And maybe the small business owner, because sometimes I find this with myself, is that we don't know what to actually attack first. And you can make your list and prioritize and do all those usual things, but based on being, a lot of people aren't accustomed to being at home, but now they still have to work. And so they get the squirrel syndrome. They get the distracted, right?
Yeah.
So I try to apply what we call the Ohio system.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that?
No.
Only handle it once.
Oh, okay.
And what that means is you've got an email in front of you, handle it, either file it, answer it, delete it, and move on to the next thing. Don't just be like going through your email and browsing.
Yeah.
And then say, all right, well, this one, oh yeah, I read that. Now I marked it unread and blah, blah, blah. Trying to Ohio it will keep your focus on just that one task. So I don't know if that helps at all.
No,
but
that's cool.
You could almost do an entire series on Ohio every week. What's the one thing, it's kind of like the book. Have you heard of the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love that book. And it's the same concept, is handling the one thing that's of importance. And most of the time what's happening with people that are in manic, they haven't done their brain dump. Like all of us, we sat here immediately and talked about our calendars and about getting it out on paper. And then the brain is clear to handle what needs to be handled. I've got a whiteboard like Jonathan does. Mine's over there and whatnot. So just a thought of.
I love it. Thank you for that. I made some notes. That's wonderful.
Yeah. I get way too much email, and I scan through it and I just star the emails that I know I need to get back to. And then when I get to my computer and I just go to star, then there's all emails that I know I need to act. Rather than, because I probably get 300 emails a day. It's insane, really. And I don't delete them, and I should. And all I do is I pay Google for my Gmail. I pay them $2.99 a month, and I have a terabyte of Gmail data. So I don't folder anything. I'm terrible. But I don't need to, because I just put in Lindsay White or Nancy, and they just come up in search. So providing the internet doesn't die, which if it does, we're all in trouble anyway.
I might close my business. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'd all be toast if there was no internet anyway. So we go back to being farmers, I guess. But yeah. Yeah,
there we go. Well, there's a Limburger cheese factory you can open up if you want.
Right.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, that's just, I have to remind myself of that too, because we are in overwhelm, and I hate being in overwhelm.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the other thing too, Lindsay, is get out of the office. Because every video you've done is in exactly that spot, right?
Yes.
So maybe it's out on your deck. Maybe you take a walk. I mean, I did that on the first day of spring. I took a walk and I did a live video from a park with a beautiful tree behind me in blossom. And I got way more engagement because of the background of the video.
You know, I was actually thinking about that. I have the most beautiful Mayday tree, and it only, of course, is in bloom for a short period of time. And so I actually was planning on doing a bit of a video around, you know, this is what May is right here.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, let's be grateful for these little beautiful things.
Yeah. And the other thing is, do you have to do it live? I mean, I always tell everybody to do a live video, but maybe you could make a series and it'd be kind of funny. And maybe you start the video and say, hey, it's a Manic Monday video from Lindsay. And you know what? I'm not here. I recorded this yesterday. I'm taking the freaking day off, but I wanted to get my message out on a Monday because this is my spot. But I'm just letting you know, I'm hiking in the hills up in Banff because I can. And but I wanted the video. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's different, right? Change it up a bit.
You could just change it up. If you can do a live video, all the better, obviously. But maybe you lead by example and just say, I didn't have a lot of things going on and the weekend was horrible weather, so I worked. But now I knew Monday was going to be a great day for weather and I just flexed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are great ideas, you guys. You're amazing. Thank you.
Step out of that 9 to 5 mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking with some people and they had a membership program and it's $24.70. And I went, what? And they went, well, because it's a group program and people can access at any time 24/7. So we decided to make it $24.70. I went,
Oh,
kind of cool.
thank you.
There you go.
And I said, well, okay, you need to make a big thing of that because I'm on the landing page and I didn't get that. And they went, oh, yeah. So we changed the messaging, but yeah, we don't want to be available 24/7. Even though we think we do, we don't.
No, we don't.
And maybe it's talking about setting boundaries, Lindsay, and literally protecting family time, but having that flex space.
Yeah.
Like I know our Sunday of the forecast right now is going to be a deluge and Monday's going to be really nice. So I'm seriously thinking about doing all my invoicing on Sunday.
Yeah.
Rather than doing it all on Monday when the weather's going to be nice. So I'm going to be looking out the window thinking, crap. You know, I could have done this yesterday, but it was a Sunday because I didn't. So I don't know. Could be an idea.
Yeah.
What else we got? Eat Your Veggies Day, National Go Fishing Day. There is first day of summer, June 20th. Father's Day, June 21st. I've thought about, because Mother's Day is always huge and Father's Day is always not quite as huge. And my birthday and Father's Day are always in the same week. Sometimes it's been on the same day and I always feel a little bit cheated, just being honest. But when I thought about this, and I've done it once before, it's like, how many of my clients are dads? And how often do we celebrate the dads in business? So we wrote a list of all my clients who are a dad, and we've arranged to send them virtual Starbucks cards in an email. And just, I mean, I could go buy them, I could mail them, but I'm not going to this year because it's just, you know, I could have delivered them even if it was possible, but I'm not going to. But we identified 7 different clients of ours who are fathers that I'm going to send a personal email with a Starbucks card and say, you know, take the family out for Starbucks on us. And thanks for being an awesome dad and an awesome client. And if I meant to do that and I didn't plan it now, I'm going to get to like the 20th and say, oh crap, I was going to do that. Oh, well, I'll do it next year. But now I got 3 weeks. So I got no excuse. Right? And I did it about 3 years ago and I hand wrote cards and I bought Starbucks cards and I mailed them. And I had a client call me and went, did you send me a Starbucks card? I went, yeah. Well, thank you. But I've sat here for a day looking at like, this handwriting is so bad. Who is it? And eventually I worked out it might have been you. I went, yeah, my handwriting isn't that great. It used to be, but yeah, I kind of write like a doctor now. But So anyway,
Jonathan, I got a service for you if you ever need to use one. You know, the one that sends you like the book that I sent you and the cards and stuff?
yes.
I actually have a service down here that does that. And you don't know that. It makes it look like it's a personal touch.
And does
Wow.
it work in Canada?
Yeah. Do you want an intro?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? There used to be send out cards that used to do cards, but to me they still look like send out cards. But
No, this is downright personalized. I mean, okay, I'll show you. I just got this from somebody that I'm doing business with,
yeah.
and in it is a nice personalized message,
Yeah.
right? And $100 napkins.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's a whole branding person I'm working with right now, and
like
a systems person, I should say, more than just branding.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this came from the service. She created it, but anyway, I
Right.
divert. But I'll intro you to
Okay.
Jane, no problem.
Yeah. So there's another one here, World Upcycling Day. And it's like, what the heck is upcycling? And rather than recycling, where someone, you put your bottle in a blue box and it gets recycled, upcycling is where you reuse something. And the picture I saw was people had got toilet roll holders that they folded over and made them like little pods for putting plants in. And then because the toilet roll is biodegradable, you could just put these pods into the ground rather than buying something. And I went, that's a good idea. So I was starting to think about what could I upcycle in business that we reuse or something? Because I have so much printer paper that comes out that doesn't quite work. And then I would just typically put the printer paper straight in the bin. I save it all now and turn it over and use that for my notes. Yeah, and I haven't bought a notepad in months because I'm using all this proposal printing stuff that didn't quite work. So I guess I'm upcycling my paper. But just those little things that just make you unique and make you different and give people a chance to sort of think, oh yeah. And the more they see you and the more, as I talked about getting known and getting appreciated for your ideas and just that diligence of playing things forward. I think that's where this content calendar comes in. The other piece is the blogs that we write. I mean, we shouldn't just blog once a month and then leave it behind. We got to think about repurposing these blogs to become evergreen. And maybe if you write a blog about Facebook Live and just think, I'm going to share it again. Maybe you go back, you change the blog. I wouldn't change the title, but you could change the meta description. You could change up some images. You could do a revamp of it. Maybe take 10 minutes revamping a blog rather than 2 hours to write a new one and rotate them. I mean, we use a software called Lately, and it goes to your website and it finds all the blogs and it recycles them 8 times a month as part of the strategy. I mean, in AI, it's actually genius. And it just picks different images from the blog each time. And it'll pick a different snippet from the blog each time. So it always looks different. And I don't do any of the work at all. We have another app on our phone now, on our WordPress, that automatically takes blogs and posts them to Google My Business. So I don't have to think about going to Google My Business. I just have this app post something good from my website to Google My Business every week.
Do you know which app that is?
It's a WordPress plugin. You'd have to ask Lindsay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's the kind of stuff that I am really excited about being able to use, Jonathan, because
Yeah.
I struggle to get the YouTube and the Facebook and the Instagram and the LinkedIn and the Google and I can't manage it all.
No.
I use one called Missing Letter. I got it from AppSumo, and I'm almost afraid to tell you about AppSumo because you could go ridiculously crazy.
They're so cheap
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And Missing Letter does everything except for Google Plus or Google My Business. I
Yeah.
have another one that I was using
I
called
don't think there are any apps that do Google My Business yet.
I
But
think
the WordPress one does.
ZenPilot does, I think, and I have that one as well. But like everything, to learn all of them is very challenging in time.
Yeah.
Just kind of when you get comfortable with one, you just sort of go for it. But right now my site is being resecured because that was just a nightmare, and it's literally being rebuilt. I allowed somebody to build my site that I should not have done, and that's where the problem came in. But it's being redone. But I will ask him about that plugin because I would love it if it could go straight from my blog straight to Google My Business, because
we'll put it on yours, Lindsay, but we've been trying it on my site and it works. I have a post every week and we don't do it.
Oh,
Automatically does it.
beautiful, beautiful. But
The other
missing
thing with
water is another.
Father's Day's coming up. I mean, my dad's passed away, and I had a good relationship with my dad. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. But just making a video about what your dad meant to you, or what your husband, means to your kids, and getting that made ahead of time, I think that would be a huge, huge win as part of your strategy for this month. I definitely think about making a video around your dad, Lindsay, or your husband as a dad, and the fact that he's going to be a grandpa as well in July, right?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, we're going to be grandparents for the first time. It is wild.
Ooh, congratulations. We just had our 4th one, and the 5th one's coming in a couple weeks.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Oh, these returnable kids are so much fun. You get to play with them and enjoy them and then say, here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's another one that might be good for you, Lindsay. June 25th is National Handshake Day.
Yeah.
So, is handshaking even ever going to be a thing anymore? So I was thinking about it. I mean, I've had some of the emojis, and I've got this emoji now of 2 people elbowing. It's like a graphic. I've seen some people literally go and it's kind of fun. I've seen some people click heels. But what I love is like the Indian greeting, where the namaste. I mean, that makes so much sense because it's a personal gesture. There is no human contact. They've done that for years. Now, whether it's a prayerful thing, whether it's the fact that hand washing was never very easy in India, and I have no idea the original origin of why they do it.
Yeah.
You meet Japanese people and there's no handshake.
There's always bowing in Japan. Yeah.
And
Why do we need
that
together?
Yeah, even like the Japanese, they hold a business card with 2 fingers and they pass it, and then again, no, I guess it's kind of contact, but not exact contact.
Yeah.
So, you could write a blog about what is the new handshake.
Yeah.
And just become that thought leader for how you, whether it's virtual fist pumps, whether it's, there's a clip in Lord of the Rings, in The Hobbit, where 2 dwarves meet each other, and the dwarf greeting is the headbutt.
Yes. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. No, well, and
you could find a little gif of headbutting dwarves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of fun.
Headbutting dwarves. I love it.
Hey, maybe we could do that in an app. Think about it. You walk up to somebody, instead of handshaking, you just hit a button and it shakes their hand with an app.
Well, and I was thinking of it in terms of like networking.
There used to be a LinkedIn app that if you were at an event and you were both on LinkedIn,
you could
your phone would buzz when you went near somebody, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think they killed it.
They
Probably due to privacy.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, Nancy.
Yeah.
I remember that.
There was a trend for a while with those, what are the square things called? The Q things or whatever?
Oh, the QR codes.
That you would swap QR codes, right? You could just sort of tap phones and that died as well. I don't know. We might see a resurgence in that. But yeah, I think I love like what's the new, is headbutting the new handshake. Like that's a great title for the blog, Jonathan.
Perfect.
Is headbutting the new handshake. Like, and just exploring the different options and what do you think is right? Like, what are you gonna do? How is it? Nobody knows, right?
Right. In England, they call it the Glasgow kiss.
Oh.
Which Glasgow is a city in Scotland.
Yeah.
And with respect to Glasgow, it's a pretty rough city.
Yeah.
And a lot of people rather than thump somebody, they would just, hey, you. And they literally headbutt somebody and smack the nose. So they called it the Glasgow kiss, just for whatever. But anyway, bit of history. But yeah, headbutting is interesting. What else we got going on here? Of course, June 30th is Social Media Day.
Yeah.
National Social Media Day, and there's a big online event going on because it used to be Social Media Weeks or Social Media Days in different cities, and obviously that's not happening this year. So you could even just do a summary at the end of the day. It's like, these are all the social media platforms that I'm on, and why would you join me on them? well, this is what I use LinkedIn for. This is what I use Instagram for. This is why I have a personal Facebook page and a business Facebook page. And just say, you know, wherever you are, I'm probably there. LinkedIn, YouTube. I'm not a TikToker. I'm not a Snapchatter. You know, I'm not 16. But at the same time, those TikTok videos, if they're done well, are incredibly powerful. If you can do a dance off with one of your kids and practice it and create even just one TikTok, it's worth it.
I don't know if my kids would. They'd probably tell me to get lost.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of mom and
Way
dad
too cool for
TikToks.
that.
You could do it. You
They're
could do
all
it.
about the Snapchat though, man. I'll tell you.
Yep, I know. I know. Actually, I get great news service on my Snapchat. I love some of the news channels. I get SNL on my Snapchat. I learn a lot on Snapchat, just from the news perspective. Yeah. There we go. What else have I got? There's also Picnic Day, June 18th. We thought about having a virtual picnic on FaceTime with all of our team, and if it was a nice day, and have our meeting outside. Is there any other ones? National Onion Ring Day. Very healthy.
Who has the best onion rings? I think that's the
Oh.
$1 million question there, don't you?
There you go. Mine are the haystack ones. Those are my favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah. We have a couple. What was that?
A&W.
Totally.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We unfortunately have one a little too close to us.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well-
I choose not to go that way because, you know.
right?
Why don't you do a video from a drive-through A&W?
Oh, there we go.
Sit in the car and just say, when we were kids, onion rings were just like heaven. And now I look at it and say, it's saturated fats and I shouldn't eat it. And it's like, but you know what? When you taste it, it's just like teenage life all over again. You know, sometimes you just need an onion ring. I don't know. Could be a great, and that is a Monday. There you go.
It's a Monday. Yep.
So maybe make it on a Saturday, ready for a Monday, and just saying, we did drive-through on Saturday, and this is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
How's that?
I like it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, got 5 more minutes if you have any other questions. And it's nice to have two people share the space with me. But yeah. I mean, obviously, this is a fillable form, and you can add your notes to this. And what I say to people, yeah, but you can type it in as well if you wanted to. It is a.
Etsy scatters.
But then, and then literally, you've got that ready for next year, and you go back and make some notes about what worked this month, and just sort of say, yeah, it didn't fly, but this did, or I should have done it this time, and put these notes, and then save it as 2021. So within a year, we're going to have the most incredible content calendar already built,
Yeah,
Mhm.
just like a working document, as they call it. Yeah.
that's why I've been keeping them because I thought it would be good to reflect back on that.
Yeah. And then you're done for next year, right?
Yeah, totally.
All righty.
Excellent.
Okay. Whether it's this or this or this or this or
Virtual
We'll do a whole video on it. It would be perfect.
virtual hugs.
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 Hugs work.
Love it. Virtual hug.
Oh, I miss
Awesome.
hugging. I really do. I'm a hugger. It's very
Oh,
hard.
yeah.
not to.
I know.
What do you do?
It's really tricky, right? It's really
Hug
is.
your wife. Let her get more of them. She'll appreciate it.
She gets plenty. I am a good hugger, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, my husband is too. And
Yeah. Sometimes it's just, I think I read somewhere that you need to hug somebody for 15 seconds
Mhm.
for it to actually make a physical difference, because there's a transference of energy that doesn't really set in. I have another friend, Michelle Gunderson. She lives in Alberta, and whenever you hug her, you go to hug, and she said, no, it's always this way, and it's heart to heart.
Yeah.
And you literally press hearts against each other, and that's the way she always does it. And it's always a little awkward, but I get what you meant.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, we need to teach my daughter-in-law how to hug eventually. She likes that one arm hug.
Oh, the sideways. Yeah,
Yeah. And it's fine when she's holding the baby, but yeah.
I got it. Yeah. All right, my friends. Thank you for joining us.
Excellent.
If you've watched this video and you're right at the end, kudos for watching all the way through and listening to us. Hope it helps. And we'll be back again next month or next week with Virtual Coffee. Thanks, folks.
Bye. Thanks.
Time for lunch. Bye.